You know that feeling, right? You're completely swamped with client work. Your pricing feels like you're just throwing darts at a board, and you're having that late night thought, was leaving my stable 9 to 5 a massive mistake? So what do? You buy a business book, hoping it's the life raft you need. But hey, let's be real for a second. That book, and probably the 10 others you bought in a 3 a.m. panic, are, well, they're collecting dust. They all promised you a map to treasure, but you feel like you're still lost at sea. Here's the thing. The problem isn't you, it's the books. Most of this advice is written for a totally different universe. They're talking about managing teams and big budgets, and we've got a laptop and, let's be honest, a prayer. They tell us to build complex systems when we're just trying to get a client to pay an invoice on time. It's time for some advice that actually gets what our world is like. So, forget about trying to show off a giant bookshelf. This is about handing you the actual toolkit. A small, carefully picked library of books that genuinely saved my business, and, I promise, can do the same for yours. Think of these as life rafts, not just more heavy anchors. First things first, let's talk about the biggest leak in every freelancer's boat: money. Are you still charging by the hour? Do you feel totally overworked and chronically underpaid? Are you basically just trading your time for pennies? If that last question stung even a little bit, then this is your first read. I'm serious. Breaking the time barrier is short, it's sharp, and it will completely change the way you think about what you earn. Let me be crystal clear. Billing by the hour is a trap. It's designed to keep you small. This book teaches you to price your work based on the incredible value you create for your clients, not the hours you happen to sit in a chair. After I applied these principles, I tripled my rates in 6 months, not by working more, but by pricing way, way smarter. And this right here, this is the whole game. This is the big idea. Stop thinking of yourself as a temporary worker for hire. You are a problem solver. Your price should reflect the size of the problem you're solving, not the ticks of a stopwatch. Okay, on to the next big pain point. You've got your pricing sorted, but now you're dealing with that endless scope creep, those impossible demands, and client conversations that feel way more like a battle than a collaboration. Sound familiar? This book is basically your new diplomatic passport. It's a classic guide to negotiation, sure, but it's absolutely perfect for freelancers who need to stand their ground without burning every bridge in sight. What this book does so brilliantly is it completely changes the goal of a negotiation. It's not about winning anymore. It's about turning a potential conflict into a shared problem that you and the client solve together. It teaches you to be tough on your goals, but super flexible on how you get there, which is how you create real win-win situations. All right, so you've handled money, you've handled clients. Now, what about your own brain? Does it feel like a web browser with about 100 tabs open at all times? You're juggling 5 clients, 15 different projects, and a million tiny little tasks. It's chaos. To manage that chaos, you need Getting Things Done. Trust me, this is not just another to-do list app. It's a full-blown system for creating an external brain, which frees up your actual brain to do the creative, high-value work you're getting paid for. The magic of this system is how simple it is. Get every single task, idea, and reminder out of your head and into a system you trust. Look, if you do nothing else from this book, just start doing the weekly review. I'm telling you, that one habit alone will give you a feeling of clarity and control that you probably thought was impossible. Let's talk about the enemy within. You know the one, that little voice in your head that whispers, you're not good enough, that you're going to get found out, that maybe you should just charge a little less on this project, just to be safe. This book is the perfect antidote to that voice. It just demolishes the myth that confidence is something you're born with. It's not a personality trait, it's a skill. And like any skill, you can build it through action. And here is the absolute key takeaway. You don't need to feel like some kind of superhero. You just need to trust in your competence, in the skills you already have. And that kind of confidence, that directly impacts your bottom line. It empowers you to charge what you're actually worth and to set healthy boundaries with clients. Okay, so we have our survival library. Awesome! But just owning these books isn't enough, right? Let's build an actual plan to transform your business, not just your bookshelf. Here it is, your 4-month rescue mission. It's all laid out for you. In month 1, you use breaking the time barrier to fix your pricing, and you compare that with a great guide like the Freelancer's Bible. Month 2, you master client communication with getting to yes and difficult conversations. Then in month 3, it's all about taming that chaos with getting things done and building your self-belief with the confidence code. And finally, month 4, you lock it all in with a solid money system like Profit First. It's a focused, step-by-step mission. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important part of this whole thing. Reading is passive. Building a business is active. So, here are the rules of the game to turn these words into real-world results. It's just 4 simple rules. First, read with a purpose. You're hunting for just 2 or 3 key ideas. Then, and this is totally non-negotiable, you have to apply one of those ideas within 2 days. Master it, see if it works for you. Then, and only then, do you pick up the next book. This is how you prevent information overload and actually make real change happen.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? This whole explainer is about application, not collection. Your business does not need another book sitting on a shelf. It needs you to take one good idea and put it into practice. Today.
So I'll leave you with this question. Just think back to those big challenges: pricing, clients, chaos, confidence. Which one of those is sinking your boat right now? Pick the book that patches that exact hole and start reading it tonight. Hey, if you found this useful, please do me a favor and share it with another freelancer who might just need that life raft. And for more explainers that cut right through the noise, make sure you click like on this and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for joining me.